to you before, like it's really hypocritical for people to say porn bad when they're living in LA, for instance.
Yes.
If you really believe that porn is bad, and
you live in Utah.
You go live in Utah. Yeah, don't live in LA because you're going to be eating because of porn, and you should really stop eating. You know, it's like stop eating. Okay, become like stop. Just stop. Do not eat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to be eating because of porn. Here's the thing. I'm going to give you an actual situation where porn on the internet is good.
Okay.
Okay. You have a person, say he's a guy who's never been married, and the Rav says to him, I want you to masturbate. You know of such a person?
No.
I told you that was me.
Oh.
Remember, you put it on your blog. You said when the Rav says to go fuck yourself, you do it.
Right.
Yeah. The Rav not only told me that I could masturbate, he told me I should masturbate. Right? That's what he told me.
Wow.
Okay, so let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Right? What are you going to say about porn for me? Can you really say it's bad? Because the problem with porn is it could lead to masturbation.
Right.
But since I'm told to masturbate, if porn leads to it, and I'm supposed to do that, suddenly it's become a good thing as it enables me to do the mitzvah of masturbation.
You didn't suggest using the Jewish Journal.
But here's what I like about it on the internet.
Yeah.
You mentioned Blockbuster.
Yeah.
In the old days, I would have to go in public to do that.
Yeah.
All right. So I mean, who's going to do that, right? Who's going to do that? Who's going to do that?
Just like this.
I don't know. Like that's
retarded. Oral compilation.
Yeah, it's like retarded. So I'm not going to go in there for that, right? I'm not going to go in for that. So thank God for the internet because now, because of guys like Luke, I've got like titties all over the place. I can go to like LukeFord.com
and you don't have to spend money.
I can. Well, you have to have an internet connection.
Better. I know, but aside from that, I mean, you can still give your money to support Torah.
Right.
And you can get all the free stuff that you need.
Right. And who needs to be humiliated in public? And who needs to make like a Morisian? It's a Morisian if somebody saw me going there because they don't know I have a heter.
Yeah.
Right, and they just think like, oh, the rabbi's going in the porno shop. So So you know what? I just brought up what porn can actually be good. So suddenly you can go to bed tonight and you can feel better about yourself because you were involved in something that is helping another Jew. Because I'm sure I'm not the only person with such a heter.
Yeah, that makes me feel better about myself.
You should. You should feel better about yourself because you enabled that industry to flourish. So that two things: money on my table when I was working in a show that was all the money was coming in from the porn industry.
Right.
So there's that,
and
also by enabling it to to thrive on the internet, so that I don't have to go to Blockbuster. So how about a round of applause for Levi?
Thank you, love you guys.
I bet you don't hear that from any other rabbis.
No, not many rabbeim have given me this. I mean, no wonder they just call this Pas Shabbos Nachamu.
Oh,
I mean, this is totally in consonance with the Shabbos of consolation. Leslie wants to know, is porn a blessing? A
blessing? What do you mean?
Well, Leslie writes that porn is a blessing.
It can be.
It can be.
It can be.
Everything has its place. Like even Reb Moshe ruled that for couples who couldn't get it on, they could use a stimulant to help them.
Oh, yeah. Well, basically, if you really follow the Rambam all the way out, that anything goes in the bedroom between a man. We talked about this. Anything between a married Jewish man and any man and his wife, right?
Yeah.
Anything goes in the bedroom.
Yeah.
Because he's got a mitzvah. He's got to get her off.
Yeah.
He has to satisfy his wife.
Yeah.
And if she wants, the rib tickler, or if she wants something, or whatever the hell it is.
Some audio visual aids.
She wants to look at a poster of a black guy.
Yeah.
Whatever it is,
yeah.
She wants the rubber doll or something, right?
Yeah.
He's got to do it. He's got a big mitzvah on his hands. He's got a big obligation.
So what are the best ways to bring your lawfully wedded wife satisfaction in this arena?
What do you mean?
How may Jewish husbands out there who are watching best bring their wives joy in the bedroom?
I'm going to say ask her. I'm not married, so I wouldn't know. But I'm going to say...
But you've studied the books.
Yeah, I'm going to say ask her. She knows what she wants.
So if any ladies in the chat room have some suggestions.
The ratings on this one are going to go really high. I can already tell you, because if you put the proper tags on YouTube, talking about porn, sex, and clitoris, we're gonna do really well this time.
So, folks, don't go stampeding after the clitoris. What's wrong with a good kiss on the lips?
All right, next thing.
Are we more likely to forget God if we're rich or if we're poor?
Are we more likely?
Yeah. Meaning people in general.
I think that I can find people who've forgotten him in both.
But which one more predisposes?
You already have an answer for that?
Yeah, I think the Torah says when you get rich, and when you become accomplished, and you think, oh, I did all this, then you're going to forget God. So I think the Torah pretty much...
yeah, because I was also thinking about the poor guy, and he's so...
bitter. And
he's bitter, and he's so busy trying to... he's so... he's in the flight, or whatever you call it.
Fight or flight.
He's desperate to get money, and he forgets about God.
Now, the Torah seems to suspect that when the Jews become more successful, they're more likely to say, I did this, and forget about God. So when athletes, after winning a big game, they thank God. How do you feel about that? Do you think that's beautiful?
I think that's great, and I also think when they lose, they should blame him publicly.
Could you imagine that? Brett Favre, God, I blame God for that stupid throw I made in overtime that cost the Vikings. They would have been in the Super Bowl. He threw it across the field, got intercepted when he could have run for a first down, the NFC Championship. Run for a first down, it would have been well within field goal range. They had every reason to win that game, and Brett Favre threw it away. He should have blamed God.
I just want to see one athlete come to the microphone on a losing team, like Boston lost to the Lakers, right?
Yeah.
And I would just love to see, Paul Pierce or whoever, would just say, it really looks like God has become a Laker fan. They've won it 2 years in a row. Right? Clearly, we had our chance, and God was not with us, and God wears purple and gold and digs Jack Nicholson. I would really love to see that. But you never see that. It's always, thank God I did this, and I'm thinking, how come we don't get the flip side?
Because Christians are dualists. They blame all the bad on Satan. They give credit for all the good. And so these big athletes come from Goyish backgrounds.
That's very interesting.
May not be church-going Christians, but Christianity splits off the bad part and blames it on Satan.
So I'm never going to hear that.
No.
I'm never going to hear that, because in the losers' locker room they're going, that the devil made it. The devil made me do it. The devil made me do it. That's what's happening. They all blame the Satan. Oh, isn't that interesting?
Well, they may not think in terms of the devil made me do it, but they've been educated that you give God credit for all the good things, but you never give him any of the blame for the bad things. Jews blame God.
Oh yeah, I do it all the time.
Goyim don't blame God.
Wow. Interesting.
Goyim have a much more quiescent relationship with God, like Islam means surrender. So,
Islam?
Yeah.
I thought that means peace.
No,
peace.
That's propaganda, means surrender.
Comes from shalom, yishlam. Yishlam, it'll be peace.
It means surrender. And Christianity is also about surrendering to God, and salvation comes from above. It's a free gift, and you just have to accept it with your heart. So neither religion is going to produce people who blame God or argue with God. Chapter 8, verse 11. Take care lest you forget Shem your God by not observing his commandments. So, the flip side is, how do you show that you've remembered God? You observe his commandments. So, someone who says, I believe in God, but they don't observe his commandments, they don't really believe in God. And someone who says, I don't believe in God, but they're scrupulous in their observance of the mitzvah, they're remembering God. And the way to remember God is to observe the commandments. The way to forget God is to not observe the commandments. So if you're saying, I believe in God, but you're not observing the commandments, you're not remembering God, you're forgetting God. Not original from me, came from Dennis Prager. But I liked it.
Yeah, that's nice.
And what do you think? I got to ask you. I know it's not really your area of expertise, but this past week